Hey everyone, this is the February vlog for Star Power. None of our $10 a month or higher Patreon patrons gave us any suggestions of what to vlog about this month, so I'm going to talk about something I want to talk about. It concerns conventions and Star Power, and the strange place we find ourselves in with conventions, doing Star Power. So Star Power is a webcomic, and Star Power has often found a home at anime conventions, where webcomics traditionally have a home. For some reason, that just the two kind of came up hand in hand, or side by side, and we always help each other out, anime conventions and webcomics. But Star Power is not very anime or manga influenced. Garth's art style just doesn't have that influence. It's more American comics. So we try to expand to other conventions, comic book conventions. And when we get in, we have great success. AwesomeCon in the DC area, in the Washington, DC area. We do great there. We do fantastic. It's our crowd. It's our atmosphere. Star Power fits very well. But I said if we get in. And that's a weird place to be. Not that I'm saying that it's unusual for us to not get into exhibit because we deserve it. Of course we deserve to get in. No, we don't deserve anything. So we're in this place between the anime conventions and the comic book conventions. The anime conventions that we have reliably exhibited at are now saying no thank you because they want to be more of an anime centric shows. And we are not anime manga. And that's their right. Absolutely their right. So we should exhibit more at comic book shows. Getting into those is really tough because on the surface, Star Power's plot is, if I'm being fair to myself, classic. If I'm being unfair and harsh on myself, typical. And that's just the truth. I mean, Star Power is a pretty classic or typical superhero premise. That's just the way it is. That's what I wanted to do when I pitched this idea to Garth. Garth likes the idea. Obviously, he's been with us for like 4 years now. Going on 4 years in May. So a classic superhero story is what we wanted. But comic book shows, I don't think, want a lot of that in their artist alleys. Because you've got Marvel and DC, corporate comics, who have the market cornered on that formula and are killing it right now. They're making money hand over fist with the superhero formula. In TV shows, movies, video games, you name it. So they've got classic superheroes. They got the market cornered there. And of course Marvel and DC have a tremendous presence at comic book shows. I mean, they're comic books. You think comic books in the American not manga landscape, you think Marvel and DC. So there's nothing on the surface very different about Star Power. You know, I mean, even our pitch is a regular person is endowed with space powers and gets to fly around space saving people. You've heard that story before. Green Lantern, the Nova Corps, name it. It's been done. Every story has been done. But I don't feel like there's anything typical about our story itself. The pitch may be typical or classic. The setup, the setting may be, when it's pitched to you, something you've heard before. But I very much believe that we're doing something very unique. Or at least as unique as we can make it. You know. So it's a strange bar of entry. It's a very high bar of entry now to get into comic book conventions. At least for us. Because we have a pretty classic comic. In its characters, in its setting. I mean, I think the meat and potatoes of our story stands out. Garth's artwork is second to none. I think I'm doing a pretty good job telling this story and making it stand out from other typical superhero stories. But the trick is getting those comic book shows to give you a chance. Some will, some won't. We've been turned down at a lot of shows this year. So you may not see us on the road as much as you're used to seeing us, or as much as we like to be on the road. Because we like meeting people. We like going to conventions and seeing people discover us for the first time and come back to us later that day and say, hey, I read volume 1. I loved it. I got to get volume 2. And, volume 3 when it finally shows up. So yeah, it is a strange for me, because conventions have always been part of the business model. It's always been part of the life. For me, anyway. I mean, a lot of people that I know who do webcomics, they don't do conventions anymore. It's just not in their plan. But for me, it's always been that way. It's always been like, another month comes around, where are you going this month? Or like, oh, you're quiet this month, but where are you going next month? So it's going to be a strange transition for us. We're still going to apply to lots of shows. We do like coming out. We do like making the effort to appear in person and to meet everybody face to face. We absolutely adore that. That's not going to change. If we have anything to say about it. So, yeah. Strange days. But not unhappy days. Because every change is a new challenge. And every new challenge, you need to find a way to overcome it. And every time you overcome a challenge, you learn a lesson. And every time you learn a lesson, you grow. And maybe this is our next challenge. Make Star Power stand out from the other typical superhero stories without changing what we're doing. Because we believe in what we're doing. And we don't feel like we have to change anything. So that's it. That's all I got to say for February's vlog. Garth and I will be on the road in March. We're going to be doing 2 shows solo. Garth will be at Oak City Comic Con March 18th and 19th. I will be at Conbust March 24th to the 26th. Check our website, starpowercomic.com, for all the relevant info. And if we have anything to say about it, we'll see you on the road.